Growing up in a small town made California seem like it was a really magical, faraway place. And, every month, and when we got the skateboard magazines and music magazines, that was sort of our connection to the outside world. And I had paper routes, and I picked rocks on farms, and picked weeds for seed farms, and did any kind of odd jobs to buy skateboards and VANS tennis shoes. And the poor kid is the hungrier kid, or the kid that's, he's got one skateboard and it's all chewed up, and he rides that thing all day, and he's the best skateboarder in the town. As much as my life has changed over the last 20-25 years, especially since starting Pearl Jam, I think not a whole lot's changed for me in terms of the things that really interest me and the things that really drive me. I still really want to just learn how to play my instrument better and write a better song. And I still want to be a better skateboarder. And I feel in a lot of ways lucky that I'm almost 50 years old and I can still kind of do all those things. And I don't think there's anything like that thing of walking up to the edge of a new bowl and looking at it and going like, oh my God, like I can't believe this is, they built this thing and they built it so good. And you have that 14-year-old shake where you're so excited that your body can't contain itself. And skating still gives me that feeling. It takes me back to that 14-year-old kid who, isn't jaded at all and just is full of wonder. And that's been a great thing about skating. I'd only been to Pine Ridge once before, and that was probably like late 70s when I was a kid. And my memory of it when I was a kid was that it was kind of a darker, more poor version of the town that I grew up in. Really severe alcoholism in the town that I grew up in, and a lot of it's just isolation. And I think with that isolation, you have to start with the youngest generation, and you have to give that youngest generation hope. And I think a way to break the mold of alcoholism and the drug use, I think if you give them another outlet, and you give them, I think with that outlet you give them hope. And I think, building a skate park is that thing. Most small towns have basketball teams and football teams at their high schools, and there's that outlet. But then there's a whole other group of kids typically that are interested in things that are more artistic, and music and skateboarding, and those things are all programs that have been cut a lot more in the last 10 years. Every kid is different, and you can't shove every kid into a round hole, because a lot of the kids are triangle shaped and square shaped. And skateboarding, I think that's for a lot of the triangle-shaped, square-shaped kids. I don't think there's a better peer group than to be out with, your 3 or 4 buddies and pushing each other to learn a new trick. And as a kid, that's such a powerful thing. Like there can be that one day where you do something amazing and everybody in your group is propping you up, and that can be a life-changing, those can be life-changing events. Confidence is such a huge part of growing up and becoming the person that you're going to become. Later on in life, when they're doing something and they're not sure that they can do it, they can go back and go like, wow, I remember when I could barely stand on a skateboard, and 3 weeks later I was doing a grind in the bowl. And I think it's as simple as that. I think it's a really simple formula, but I think it's about getting confidence from somewhere. And I think having a skate park in your town and having a group of kids that you skate with that, you know, push each other, I think that is going to give these kids a confidence that could turn one of them into a tribal council leader or a senator of South Dakota or whatever it is. I've been involved with building probably 10 skate parks, and I've never witnessed appreciation like I did at Pine Ridge. I mean, you know, the blanket ceremony that they had, and the food that they brought, and the food that they cooked us later on, and the invitation that if we ever came back to bring our friends and they can stay with them, and all of us who were outsiders that came in to help facilitate building the park, I think we probably got more out of it than they did. They got a skate park, but the welcome that we got and the appreciation that we got back and the love that we felt, you know, I don't think there's anything better than that. You go into a culture and you learn all the great things that they're doing within that culture, and it makes you want to kind of have that be a part of you and how you treat people and how you do things. I want to take those things that I've witnessed there and pass them on.
For a lot of that time, and painting was really starting to resonate with me more than the social work. And I went to my mother, who was a great advocate of doing something following your heart, put it that way. And she said the most empowering things that anybody's ever said to me. She said, go ahead and paint, nobody will let you starve.